Okay, welcome to frame by frame animation. This exercise is going to be a little bit different for a couple reasons. One is that instead of letting the computer and animate sort of take care of our tweens or in between frames, this is an exercise that sort of takes advantage of sort of multiple drawn frames in order to sort of express a movement. In this case, it's going to be a jumping jack more accurately. So the idea is we're going to sort of draw different steps of a jumping jack, and we're going to be as efficient as possible by reusing the steps. If we think about a jumping jack is sort of from a standing position all the way to the up position, what I'll call. But we can sort of take advantage of what we've drawn up to that point when we do sort of the jumping jack on the way down. You'll see what that means when it comes to sort of the frames that we draw. The other idea is that we're going to draw this directly on the stage. We're not going to use the library. We're going to use the Properties tab again and hopefully build upon our knowledge of the Properties tab from the last exercise, which is Simple Properties. And I'm going to introduce this idea of what's called onion skinning. We're going to sort of look at these little tabs. Onion skin does not do anything, but it helps us sort of see the stages of a drawn element. So without further ado, let's head into this frame by frame animation. As usual, I have skipped the first couple steps and headed straight to step 4, which is going to be choose the brush tool. I have my tools over here. The brush tool looks like a paintbrush, so I'm going to choose that. I also have my properties window over here, and this is going to give me a little more sort of in-depth choices in terms of my brush tool that we can do over here, but it's going to be a little bit easier to do over here. So it says set the stroke color to none and the fill color to black. Again, I can do that over here, or since we're sort of dealing with the properties window lately, I'm going to do that over here. So I've already kind of done this. My stroke color is nothing, and my fill color is black. Next, it says choose step 6, choose a mid-sized brush. Over here, we can choose the size, and I'm going to choose 10. That looks about right. You can see that if I sort of pump this up or pull it down, it'll show us about how big on the stage that's going to appear. Let's go with 10. And we can also choose the brush shape here. I don't think I sort of note that, but I'm going to choose a simple sort of circle there. Next, step 7, it says draw stick figure and face, draw stick figure, face, and torso directly on the stage while leaving room for arms and legs. So I'm going to take up most of the stage here, but I want a little space up top here because our jumping jack guy, our stick figure, he's going to sort of have his arms up in the air, sort of indicating the end or top portion of the jumping jack. So I'm going to draw our little stick figure guy here. Boom, boom, boom. He is happy he is exercising, so we'll do that. And I'm just going to draw that. Okay, so very simple. Next, it says insert a keyframe. Note it is a keyframe via control click or right click at frame numbers 5, 10, and 15. In parentheses, it says not a blank keyframe, but a keyframe. And I'll explain why here in a second. So I'm going to control click, and I'm going to insert keyframe at 5, at 10, and at 15. So let's sort of think about what's about to happen here. We are basically going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 stages of a jumping jack. In the spirit of this frame-by-frame animation, the more keyframes that we have, sort of visually indicating what the movement looks like, the more smooth it's going to look. This is sort of a pretty simple 4-step process. So it's a jumping jack, so we're going to sort of keep it at 4 stages here. Next, it says step 9, click on frame number 1, where there should be a keyframe. Choose your brush tool and draw arms and legs in the standing position. So I'm going to click on this, and we're going to sort of imagine that this guy is sort of at the beginning of his jumping jack. And we want to sort of leave some space visually for him to sort of move his arms and legs into movement. Next, it says click on frame number 5, where there should be a keyframe. Choose the brush tool and draw the arms and legs and moving midway up the body. There should be 4 steps up to the top of the jumping jack. And then I'm actually going to skip to step 13 here because all of this is sort of similar. It says repeat for keyframes 10 and 15 with frame 15 ending with the arms above the head and the legs outstretched. And then it says use the onion skin feature to draw accurately. So I'm going to sort of do this all in one step, sort of steps 12 and 13. So I'm going to click on this frame 5, and what I want to do is click on this onion skin thing here. And this is this little teeny tab or a little button down here, and it introduces itself to you. And what it is, and you're going to see these little brackets up here, it's basically showing you in this sort of tinted color, this purple here, frames that were sort of either before, in this case, we want to sort of see after. And the reason being is we don't want to have to guess where we drew. I'm going to unclick this. If I go up to frame 5 and I'm just sort of guessing where the legs were, I'm probably not going to do it as accurately. So I'm going to click this onion skinning, and I want to sort of start the arms sort of moving upwards. So I'm going to sort of make the arms come out in the same spot, same with the legs, and I'll sort of have them start to outstretch, okay? You'll see that I've started the arms in the same spot, I've started the legs in the same spot, but because I use that onion skinning, I'm sort of allowed to see the previous frames, okay? Next it says, and that was basically step 12. Again, this onion skinning isn't, it's not a step that does anything, it simply allows us to sort of see something. So I'm going to go here now to step 13, and it says repeat this for 10 and 15. So 10 is going to be sort of midway up. Now, when I click on 10, I'm seeing that previous frame 5 version of the jumping jack. So let's sort of get them, I don't know, 3/4 of the way up. Getting really active here. And we're going to go all the way up to step 15. And draw the sort of ending stage of that jumping jack. Okay, I'm going to unclick the onion skinning so I can sort of see here. Okay, my guy got strangely got longer arms, which is fine. We're doing a simple stick figure here. So again, that onion skinning, depending on where you're clicked on, allows you to sort of see frames before and after. You can also sort of pull it out and see multiple sort of versions of your jumping jack. This is super helpful when you do these sort of what is called frame by frame animations. I'm going to uncheck that onion skinning because I'm kind of done with it. But I want you to sort of note that because it's a really useful tool when you're trying to create sort of fluid animations. Note that next to onion skinning is onion skin outlines. That'll just show you, it might be hard to see on the video here, just shows you the outlines if visually that is too much. Okay. So again, just sort of a toggle or a button that visually allows us to see something. Now, this is where we sort of, I said at the beginning of the video, let's be efficient, okay? So a jumping jack is a motion that goes up, up, up to the top. No need to draw the sort of downward motion of the jumping jack because basically we've already drawn it. And that's what the sort of steps from here on out basically allow us to do. So let's do that. It says step 14, go to frame 20 and control click. And this time I'm going to insert a blank keyframe. And the reason being is I want sort of a blank slate that allows me to copy and paste the motion from a previous frame down onto this. So if that doesn't make sense, hopefully sort of seeing me do it here will. It says go to, click on frame 10. This is sort of the, if we think about a full jumping jack, we are going up, we're going up, we're going up. Now we need to go back down. We're basically going back and copying this step in order to sort of go down on that jumping jack. Next on step, so we've clicked on frame 10, choose edit, select all. Let's see here, select all. I'm selecting everything on that. And it says choose edit, copy. Okay. And then it says go to frame 20, which is going to be blank because we made a blank keyframe. And we need to choose edit, paste in place. Paste in place allows us to paste exactly where we copied from, so it's not sort of off-centered there. Okay. Next, it says go to frame 25, and you're going to sort of see where I'm going with this, hopefully. We're going to insert a blank keyframe here. It says click on frame 5. We're going to select all. We are going to copy. And we're going to go to frame 25, which should make the stage appear blank. And we are going to paste in place. Okay, again, this efficient idea, I've already drawn this. It's going to look more fluid if it actually sort of uses the frames that we've already drawn. Next, it says in that last little step, insert a keyframe at frame 30. We basically want to pull this stage of the animation out. Okay. Now, if we think about animate, and I sort of said this, I think, on one of the first exercises, I always say animate wants to go, go, go. We, at this point, have sort of created a loop. And at this point, at frame 30, animate is going to go back to frame 1, which is going to be 5 frames of our guy sort of standing still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of skip or hop ahead here to step 24. I'm going to choose File, Save As. And I'm going to name this David Luke underscore frame by frame. Remember, it's just going to add that .fla. I'm going to save. And I'm going to test this. And we're going to sort of see what he does. All right, he's doing a jumping jack. And we have 5 frames per each stage of the jumping jack. If you want to get fancy, he can change his facial expression in any of those. If it had hair, maybe the hair is popping up. But this is a sort of very simple version of frame-by-frame animation, and it allows for fluid movement. Later, and I believe next week, we're going to sort of deal with this in relation to what's called a movie clip. But for now, hopefully we've sort of understood this concept. We've dealt with the paintbrush, we've dealt with the properties window in relation to the paintbrush, and we've introduced this idea of onion skinning. Okay, so please email me with any questions. Hopefully this makes sense, and we will head into some more exercises next week.